Hello! In this video, we'll set up an authorization in the A2A module. To access the information is done through authorizations, so you can define a series of criteria to ensure greater security in the consumption of data by the applications. Here is how. In an already configured application, click on More Options. Authorizations. Here, we'll have a list of all the authorizations belonging to this application. Senha Segura has no restrictions on the number of authorizations that can be set up. To create a new authorization, just go to View Actions, New, and fill out the required data. In the Settings tab, we can define a date and a time for the expiration of this authorization. This way, the accesses through it will be automatically revoked after the established period. Besides that, we can also define an environment and a system so that we have visibility in the reports. On the Security tab, we can define a series of criteria to guarantee that only authorized applications will have access to the data stored in Senha Segura. Starting with the authorized resources, here we can define which modules we'll have access to through the APIs. The PAM module, certificates, task manager, dashboards, and the A2A or App2App itself. Note that in the case of the PAM module, it will give us access to all credentials, devices, SSH keys, and personal information, which is exactly what we need. Other modules will be covered in later videos. Besides defining which resources are authorized, you can also define permissions. These are read-only or read and write. This will allow us to register information, credentials, and devices through the APIs. We can also choose to encrypt sensitive data in credentials and protected information, such as passwords. This way, each authorization will provide a key that we will use to decrypt the data. In order for us to restrict access, we have a few options. The first of these is to restrict access from IP ranges. Senha Segura uses the concept of whitelisting to authorize access. This way, we can define one or a series of IPs that can access the data through these authorizations. Note that we can also use asterisks to define wildcards. Another option for restricting access is HTTP referrers, where we can specify the path of a specific requesting application, guaranteeing access only from one part of the application. In this case, Senha Segura doesn't have any restrictions by default. We can leave it as it is. And the last option is the validation using certificates. In case the requesting application has an authorization certificate, we can do a fingerprint analysis. Once all the security rules are defined, we can then define which credentials, which devices, and which protected information will be accessed through these authorizations. Besides the option of providing data that already exists in the PAM modules, in the case of credentials, we can also create a credential on demand. This way, you only need to provide a username and password, linking it to an already registered device in the vault. For this example, we will use credentials already configured in the environment. For credentials, selecting the existing credential and clicking Add. Devices, we will do the same by selecting an existing device in the vault and clicking Add. And protected information too, where we will select an existing protected information. After all the data is filled in, just click Save. Now that we have an authorization set up, next we'll demonstrate how to request data through the so-called API's REST of Senha Segura. Thank you.